Good day, everyone. I am Angel May ALO, and I will be continuing the discussion of Miss Luminsa. So, the assessment of reading performance. This is the continuation. So, another type of reading assessment is the informal reading inventory or the IRI. This is an assessment tool that serves to diagnose, develop, and remediate phonological knowledge, vocabulary, as well as reading skills that need to be further developed, reinforced by students. It contains graduated activities by which students from the different grade level can achieve according to the level of difficulty. So according to Scott 2021, uh, IRI is a primary assessment tool for teachers to create lesson plan for individual students in order to evaluate usage and determine what students have not been exposed to in the classroom at the beginning of the school year. So, obviously, these reading assessment tools are highly essential in ensuring that the activities provided are primarily geared towards the attainment of the reading skills as these students are guided that these skills are not only for academic purposes but for the actualization of real life experiences. In addition to the aforementioned, the following reading assessment activities are herein offered. Letter A, phonological awareness. It is a basic reading skill that focuses on the understanding that spoken words comprise the individual sounds of the spoken language. So, this means to say that if sounds of individual letters are appropriately and correctly produced, ideas become comprehensible. Let's continue. So the following are some practical activities that helps develop and reinforce phonemic awareness and are herein suggested. The first one is exercise the vocal cords. So you guide the students to open their mouth, inhale, exhale, and thrust a vibrating sound out coming the from the diaphragm. This can be done in 3 to 5 minutes. The second one is letter word recognition and articulation. So, you draw a paper with an identified letter on it. As you present the drawn letter to the students, you call them at random and let them name anything that starts with the letter presented. As the student says the word, you pay particular attention to the proper articulation of the word. Then the activity continues for 5 minutes. The third one is name identification. So, you call on any student to approach a classmate whom he or she considers exciting to know about. The the student utters the name of his or her classmate with correct articulation and shares what he or she is excited about him or her. The fourth one is spoken expressions. So, you provide the students with varied activities that consciously focus on the correct production of sounds of letters and words. Examples. Examples of these are individual and team presentations of song rendition, role play, dialogue, and others. And the fifth one is building acronym. So, students use their family names or most cherished virtue as an acronym. Then they read their output with well articulated words utterances. This lastly, the vocabulary development. So this refers to the words that people know and appropriately use in certain conditions. This is a process of acquiring words. The choice of words matters a lot in the way ideas are expressed. It builds or destroys meaning as well as relationships. This, therefore, necessitates a well thought of choice of words. So, seeing the value of vocabulary development to reading, a basic requisite towards its acquisition is to read every day. To, to read every day. Rich exposure to written materials is a keystone to curb vocabulary deficiencies. Here are some activities on vocabulary development that can be employed in a reading class. The first one is word rally. So a big idea is presented on the board or screen. The students are called to write or type other words similar to the one presented. This can be done in 2 to 3 minutes after any student is identified to use any of the words in meaningful context. So the next one is emoji interpretation. So a newspaper caricature or an emoji is presented and students describe it by choosing the appropriate word. You provide a number of terms to serve as a basis for the student's choice. After the identification of the right term, in any students can use it in meaningful contexts. So the third one is story development. You present a topic like globalization, collaboration, environmental issues, etc. So, students write terms to describe any of the topics given. Use the terms in following into a short story, an advertisement, or document and add or a commentary or etc. The next one, the word hunt. So here, any student presents the assigned latest issue of the country or the local community. Other students guess what the highlight of the issue is and in a race they find an appropriate term from the thesaurus to describe it. The first one to offer the most appropriate term is considered as a winner. The lastly, story transformation. So transformation. So undeniably, children books contain simple words that fit into the ability of the children to understand. Here, the students are instructed to transform the children's story that may be appropriate for adult reading using the same plot. Obviously, terms here vary between children's and adults' understanding. So let's proceed to letter B, comprehension. So comprehension is the understanding and interpretation of what is read. To be able to accurately understand written material, children need to be able to decode what they read, make connections between what they read and what they already know, and think deeply about what they have read. So here are some reading assessment activities that can help reinforce the students' reading comprehension skills. The first one is caricature analysis. The students interpret the meaning of the caricature while relating its essence to their own experiences. The next one is interpreting graphs. So look for any relevant data presented in graph, then interpret objectively the facts and provide proactive measures for a way forward. The next one is problem solution route. So in a pair, the first student poses a problem, the other one offers a relevant solution. After this is done in vice versa. They may present this to the class if time permits. The next one is symbol translation. You present the flags of the different countries in the world. Students are given the freedom to choose the flag that attracts them or that signifies meaning to them. They are called individually to explain or give interpretation to the symbols of the chosen flag. So, to check the veracity of the interpretation, students are instructed to refer to the official source of information. The next one and the last one is news item analysis. So, students read news articles from different sources, print or non print, then pick one issue that interests them and they identify the cause. So let's proceed to letter C, fluency. This is a reading skill that gives credence to the smooth transition of words, thus creating a comprehensible idea. With this in mind, practice in oral communication is very essential. Nip, Nippert 2012 noted that reading fluency is the ability to read accurately, smoothly, and with expression. Fluency is important because it bridges word recognition and comprehension. It allows students time to focus on what the text is saying. They can make connections between what they are reading and their background knowledge. So, the following are the suggested activities that can help develop or enforce students' fluency skills. So the first one is the last words is mine. So the students are grouped into four. Then you present a pressing issue or a title of a story to each group alternately. In a span of 10 seconds, each student in the group says something about the topic or the story. After 10 seconds, the student stops. His or her last word becomes the first word of the next student or the speaker. This process continues until the last student of the group is able to say something and close the topic or the story. The next one is free talk. Given a photo image or of their interest, the students are tasked to say something about it without obstruction. You may note the students' correctness and miscues along the way. So the third one is compensatory strategies. So these are the mechanisms that aid students in making their oral communication comprehensible without distracting meaning. These are cues that are consciously employed but not very noticeable to the receiver. The use of common expressions like actually, let me see, okay, etc., and certain gestures convey a message that the speaker is still looking for the right terms. If done unnoticeably, this is fine. Much better still if the student speakers are provided with rich opportunities to communicate orally to attain smoothness of delivery of ideas. The fourth one is mini debate. So the class is divided into two groups. Debatable preposition is presented. You assign group 1 to present the affirmative side of the topic and group 2 to present the negative side with facts of on hand. Then rebuttal starts. You give close attention to the oral communication skills delivered by the students. The last one is phone messenger conversation. So a scenario is provided to both parties, the caller and the receiver. The caller starts with his or her concern, and this shall be replied to appropriately by the receiver. The conversation is observed by the teacher and the rest of the students, and they give comments after. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone. This is Angel May ALO.